Germans riot over central banks. What's going on, guys? MaKaElectric. It is Thursday, the 19th of March, 2015. This is going to be a continuation from our last video. That'll be the first link below. Another Operation Blackjack warning here. I'm going to tie a bunch of events back to one specific slide in Operation Blackjack. But I'm going to get started with this. Germans riot over central banks. This is from We Are Change. Frankfurt Germany, over 10,000 people expected to join anti-austerity protests during inauguration ceremony of European Central Bank's new headquarters. Power to the people, and shout out to Germans for getting in the streets and doing something, because the people in America are too pacified by Facebook and iPhone and all the reality TV shows on. Nobody in America seems to give a crap. While all the distractions going on in the background, people need to remember that the primary goal here of the elite is to have a microchipped human population under the control of a world government. Shout out to the people in Germany. BBC, backup link. Germany riot targets ECB headquarters in Frankfurt. Put a link to that. Investment Watch. This is what all of the war rhetoric is about lately, in my opinion. I know some people think that everybody's on the same side. I think there's a lot of power struggle going on in the elite world. France, Germany, and Italy agreed to follow UK's lead to join China-led International Development Bank, March 17, from Investment Watch. Got a second one from Activist Post. U.S. warns allies not to join China-led Development Bank. As I said, I know some people think that this is all one elite, but my gut tells me that there's power struggles going on in the elite world. We got CIA insider breaks silence on global currency wars. This from Money Morning. Updated article. I don't see a date, but I know it's new. And hedge fund manager fears sudden pervasive loss of faith in the market, says it's truly a scary time. This March 17 from Zero Hedge. To go along with that, severe cracks in the system warn of devastating global panic is near. This from King World News. Now, does this sound like fear-mongering? Let me ask you something. Do you have friends or family who just don't have time to hear what you have to say? Well, show them this next link. Pull up the U.S. debt clock. What does that say? $18 trillion now? Because people didn't have time, they doom future generations. This is the future you leave. This is what you leave for future generations, because nobody had time to deal with this. 18 trillion. This is what you want to talk about, doom and gloom, right there in your face. I don't know how else to explain it. Do you think that number is going to start rolling backwards? Another reason why I believe there's going to be a massive false flag, because a reset button has to be pushed. There's no other option. What do you think that number is going to look like 50 years from now? If there's no reset button. Are you serious? To the people who think nothing's ever going to happen, please explain to me the U.S. debt clock. And that's just what they're telling us about. That's just the official number. All the war rhetoric. Let's get to that. Hornet's Nest. Massive drills across Russia. 20 ships in the Baltic Sea. This March 18 from RT. Now take all this with a grain of salt. All probably fear-mongering propaganda from every side. But just FYI. Global research. U.S. NATO military operations aimed at Russia. This is a declaration of war. March 13, 2015. We got Your Newswire puts this out. Look at this. Russia declares state of war with UK. Nuclear orders issued. Again, take it with a grain of salt. Please, I'm not saying that there's a nuclear weapon going to go off, today or tomorrow, or I'm just saying, be advised. There's a lot going on. Above top secret. Yes, above top secret. Take it with a grain of salt. In Russia, employers are preparing for nuclear war. I'll put a link to it. Decide for yourself. Your Newswire has this. Putin's chief bodyguard reportedly killed. Now, I should have covered this in my last video. Thank you to everybody who sent me this link. I'll put a link to it. What do you make of that? Now, has Putin surfaced? Is he back in charge? I'm not so sure that he is. In fact, I'll put an article here that somebody sent me about Putin's body double. Does Putin have a body double? Is that who we're looking at? If these aren't old news clips, which I believe they are, but if they're not, it's just interesting. I don't know. We got the burning of Tel Aviv. Let's talk about Iran. Now I'm going to tie all this back to Operation Blackjack. Warning, be advised, pay attention. The burning of Tel Aviv, what a nuclear attack would look like. Of course, this is demonizing the Iran nuclear program. By the way, Netanyahu wins. Is anybody surprised by that? I'm certainly not. Now let's go over to Syria. Assad must go, U.S. says, as Syrian war enters 5th year. Assad must go, says U.S. So we got Iran and Syria. I already gave you China. Of course, they're in charge of the new development banks, see? Now, let's tie this to Operation Blackjack, shall we? And for those who don't know, that's that multiple city, multiple country nuclear false flag attack depicted in the Telegraph years ago. I'll put those links at the very bottom. People want to research that. Very interesting stuff. A lot of stuff going on in that slideshow is happening right now. Pull it up and go through it if you never have, and compare it to current events. But look at this slide. Who do we bomb? After nuclear weapons go off in America in several cities, who do we bomb? Iran, Syria, China. Boom. I've given you these stories, all being demonized right now. Would it be a shocker to anybody if a false flag attack comes out, blamed on Iran, Syria, and China, and we launch nuclear weapons at them? That would not surprise me at all. It's right there in that slideshow. And who is supporting and funding and behind all of this? Look at this from the New York Times, March 14, 2015. CIA cash ended up in the coffers of Al-Qaeda. The same Al-Qaeda that supposedly attacked us on 9/11, funded by the CIA. Imagine that. Look at this. Brand new story here from the Washington Post. Pentagon loses track of $500 million in weapons and equipment given to Yemen. What do you want to bet? That ends up in the hands of ISIS, as so much of it has in the past. This is mainstream news. USA Today. White House office to delete the Freedom of Information Act regulations. I wonder why that would be. Put a link to that. And also be advised, a couple links at the bottom. Supermoon. Total eclipse, equinox of sun on March 20th. That's tomorrow. You know how these bastards like to do it with their celestial dates and whatnot. Not to mention 322, a couple days away, 322. Skull and Bones. Be advised. Something might go down. Not saying it will, but it might. I'm going to put one link at the bottom as well from Fire Charger. Big time Christian. A lot of people know who Fire Charger is. I'm agnostic myself, but I have a lot of love and respect for my Christian friends, and I value their opinions on world events. He put out a great video, 12 minutes, 30 seconds long, about Netanyahu election rocks prophecy into the end game. Before you say, religious kook nonsense, please listen to what he has to say. I don't rule anything out. I'm an open-minded person. We are certainly living in interesting times, wouldn't you say? Please rate this video. Please pass it around. Share the information below. Let your friends and family members know what's going on. Tell them that they need to make time to get involved. Because if not, they doom future generations. Your thoughts on all this? Until the next one, you guys take care. Stay safe always. I will see you on the next one.